Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
AJ Styles defeated El Grande, Americano.
Raquel Rodriguez defeats Lyra Valkyria.
Rusev defeats Penta.
Asuka defeats Nikki Bella.
And Bronson Reed defeated LA Knight. Now, if you want to know, well actually, we're very close to 1 million subscribers now. So if you could just push us over the edge, it would be greatly appreciated.
The brothers are back together.
Oh, destruction. Becky's sporting a black eye.
And Wrestlepalooza's turning into a mini WrestleMania.
We begin Monday Night Raw with the brotherly reunion of Jimmy and Jey. Joe Tess also tells us that Barrett's on a well-deserved break, so it'll be him and Corey Graves running comms. Jey says that the Vision messed up, but before he has a chance to continue, he's interrupted by Bronson. Breaker asks Jimmy if he's lost, as this is Raw, not SmackDown, and then tries to head down the rampway, only for Reed to stop him. Reed then asks for acknowledgement and tells Jimmy he's not a factor in the Vision, or rather he wasn't, but they're going to deal with him now. Jimmy fires back saying he knows where he is, calls Paul Heyman and Orca, and then lets us know that if we want to see the Usos against Bronson, then we have to wait until Wrestlepalooza. LA Knight then attacks Reed and Breaker from behind, with Reed ending up in the ring and taking a beating. Reed manages to throw Knight towards the corner, nearly sending him into Jey, but Knight slams on the brakes. Reed follows up though, with Knight getting out of the way, only for Jey to get squashed in the corner. Remember that. Breaker then enters, but he suffers at the hands of the Usos and Knight, with Bronson then escaping up the rampway. Jey then blames Knight for him getting squashed, with Jimmy having to separate the pair.
Out next, AJ Styles, and he's against El Grande, Americano. Just before their match, we see LA Knight backstage with Byron Saxton, saying he wants a piece of Bronson. He's not bothered if he wins or loses, he just wants a piece to take with him. So, back to the match. Before Grande can even enter the ring, Styles is on the attack and sending Americano over the crowd barrier. The pair eventually get in the ring, the bell sounds, and we're soon back outside.
Styles throws Americano back into the ring, sets up for the phenomenal forearm, but then gets stopped by another El Grande Americano. This is amazing, there's two of them. The first one then throws Styles over the ring steps just before we break. We come back to a 2-count cover from Grande, only for Styles to fight back with an exploder and rack bomb into cover for 2.
Americano then hits a blockbuster from off the ropes and covers for 2, with AJ then looking to finish things with a Styles clash. It's then that Americano 2 gets on the apron, but before he can intervene, Dragon Lee heads out and takes him out of the equation. Grande 1 then tries a roll-up, which is countered, recountered, and then thrice countered before we end up in a Styles clash, which is hit. Styles then covers Grande and picks up the victory.
Backstage, we see Adam Pearce telling Io Sky that he's had to cancel the contract signing as Stephanie Vaquer can't make it, when Nikki Bella rolls up. Pearce heads off, leaving Nikki to tell Sky that she'll have a great match with Vaquer when the Kabuki Warriors show up. Asuka pushes Nikki out the way, telling her to stay away from Io, with the two then exchanging words. Nikki tells Asuka, "You don't have to like me, but you will respect me." Asuka replies by saying she'll beat the respect out of her tonight.
We see a video package of AJ Lee winning the Divas title from yesteryear, and then learn that she'll be appearing later tonight. Before our next match, Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez, with Perez at ringside. Raquel used her power when she could by throwing the smaller Valkyria around, while Lyra got away with strikes and counters. Lyra tried a crossbody from the top rope, only for Rodriguez to catch her and turn it into a fall-away slam, before following up with 2 twisting corkscrew elbows in the corner and covering for 2.
We come back from a break to see this, and then see Lyra's hair fly off while Mummy Cool kicks her A tornado DDT nets Lyra a 2 count, with Rodriguez then getting 2 off an assisted suplex from the rope. A powerbomb from the top rope gets Lyra another 2 count cover, with Valkyria then heading to the top rope again. Rodriguez catches up to her though, drops her with a Tahina bomb and covers for the win.
Backstage we see Penta speaking with the War Raiders before he speaks with Adam Pearce and asks for a shot at the Intercontinental title. Rusev then interrupts the pair, with Pearce then making a match for later. Yes, you guessed it, Rusev versus Penta.
We also see AJ Styles thanking Dragon Lee for helping out earlier, saying he'll be there if he needs him, before we see Jey making his way out. Jimmy catches up to him, saying they need to help LA Knight later, with Jey saying that ain't our problem. Jimmy says the Vision is our problem, with Jey then replying that the man tried to get me, in reference to the Knight Reed getting squashed in the corner situation at the start of the night. Jey adds that they're going to make them acknowledge us, or they're going to smash them all. Jimmy then says Jey sounds like Roman.
AJ Lee is out next with a title. It's Becky Lynch's Intercontinental Championship.
I thought I'd missed something.
After introducing herself and talking about her journey away from wrestling, she talks about what Lynch did to CM Punk. This, of course, brings out the man, who regurgitates the same old before Lee lays the title in the ring and invites Becky to come and get it. Lynch doesn't take up the offer and asks where Punk is, only for her then to call out Seth.
Seth's music plays and out comes the Visionary. I did think it may have been Punk at that point. Seth asks Lee to give Becky her title back, with Lee saying she has a better idea. Becky can come and get the title and risk getting another black eye, or they can agree to a tag match.
At Wrestlepalooza?
Just wait. Seth says he calls the shots around here and then enters the ring to retrieve the title. Only as he gets closer to it, Lee jumps between him and the belt.
Seth tries to grab it, but Lee gets in the way again, with Seth then losing his cool. As he unloads on Lee, verbally, the crowd starts to cheer as Punk makes his way down to the ring. He gets in and sets up Rollins for the GTS, but Seth escapes it and exits the ring. Rollins then says, "You want a match? You got it," at Wrestlepalooza. Lee then throws Becky's title out the ring, which Lynch then picks up.
We see Bayley telling us she's a good person before the inner voice fires up. The voice tells her to move on and do what's best for them, and what's best for them is to make it right with her. You know what to do and you know what's in your heart. The voice fades, with Bayley then saying she'll make it right. Don't know who her is.
Next up, Penta versus Rusev. Chops are the order of the day from both men, as Penta then takes down Rusev with a backstabber and cover for 1. Penta then goes high, but Rusev rolls out the ring, which draws Penta to the apron. Penta then gets thrown onto the announcer's desk, but then manages to avoid Rusev as he charges at him, with the Bulgarian crashing in to the ring steps.
Back from the break, and we're in the ring with a sling blade taking Rusev down, followed by the corner headstand double foot stomp and cover for 2. Just then, New Day and Big G come down the rampway, which takes Penta's focus. Rusev grabs him, but Penta counters, bounces off the ropes and dives out at New Day. Back in the ring, Penta lands a code red, even though it looked like a Mexican destroyer to me, and into cover, only for Rusev to kick out on 2.
What's the difference in a code red and a Mexican Canadian destroyer? Can you let us know?
Or what is the difference?
Anyway, Penta goes high looking for the destroyer, but Woods gets on the apron, suffering a kick for his actions. Penta jumps at Rusev, but Rusev catches him with a Michika kick and covers for the 1, 2, 3.
We head backstage to see Jimmy asking LA Knight if it was an accident out there, the Reed corner sandwich with Jey at the top of the show. Knight says he moved and thought Jey was coming with him, but he didn't. Jimmy's fine with that, then says we got beef with the Vision. Knight replies, we? There is no we. He's tried the team thing and isn't interested, saying if you want to help, don't help.
Out next, Nikki Bella versus Asuka, with Sane at ringside. Nikki goes for 3 quick pins, followed by a spine buster for another 2. Asuka then slides out the ring and uses Sane as a shield. Nikki moves Sane out the way, only to suffer a kick to the head just as we hit a break. When we come back, we're back in the ring and Asuka's missing a leg drop from the middle rope.
Clotheslines, a drop kick and kick from the middle rope get Nikki a 2 count cover, with Asuka then replying with kicks and strikes of her own and a 2 count cover. An Alabama slam gets Nikki another 2 count. Asuka then finishes the match with the Empress Impact, followed by the Asuka lock, with Nikki tapping out.
Backstage in the Judgment Day Den, Finn Balor's congratulating Raquel over her win. When in walks Dom. Finn asks what's going on with El Grande Americano, with Dom saying it's a lucha thing and he wouldn't have needed help if they hadn't got banned last week. Dom then heads off with Roxanne Perez saying she'll go talk to him.
After a break, we see Nikki Bella walking through backstage when she bumps into Asuka and Sane. The two square up to one another, with Sane trying to keep them apart. Rhea Ripley then appears to calm things down, with Asuka saying she's the top woman before speaking in Japanese and heading off.
Last match of the night, LA Knight versus Bronson Reed. Breaker with Reed. Reed takes an early lead until Knight sends Reed to the outside and follows. Knight then sends Reed into the ring post and steps before we break and come back with both men in the ring. Reed slams Knight and covers for 2, with Knight then escaping a DVD but getting thrown out the ring.
Reed charges at Knight, with Knight sending him over the ring announcer's barrier. Knight then mounts the table and jumps at Reed, taking him out. We get back in the ring where we see Knight miss a jumping neckbreaker and Reed miss a senton, which then allows Knight to drop the elbow from the top rope. The follow-up cover gets 2. Knight then looks for the BFT, but Reed pushes him off and into Breaker, who's on the apron. Knight rebounds off the rope and into a jagged edge, a Death Valley driver, from Reed. Reed covers and gets the pinfall.
After the match, Breaker enters the ring and beats down Knight, only for Jimmy to head out for the save, with super kicks all round. Breaker manages a spear though, which downs the Uso, with Knight then being tossed from the ring. Jimmy suffers a senton, with Jey's music then playing as he heads out to help his brother. And like his brother, he manages to subdue Bronson for a moment, but then suffers a spear from Breaker.
Breaker lines the twins up next to one another as Reed climbs the rope for a tsunami, but Knight makes the save by hitting Reed with a chair before clearing the ring. Bronson retreats up the rampway while Knight asks Jey if they're good now, before thanking Jimmy for the save. As the two talk, Jey spears Knight and then says they're good now, with Jimmy asking why as Raw goes off the air. So Jey's gone a little bit...
Gone a bit naughty there.
A bit naughty, which brings me to Michael's moment of the night. As I've said before, this could be a match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, quirky, different, odd, or just something that catches my eye. Obviously, this has to wait until the end, because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler, a little bit like this one. So Michael's moment of the night is, although there was nothing spectacular, it has to be Jey spearing Knight. Not the move being amazing, just the whole, oh, okay, where's this leading? Now, Reigns has got in Jey's head, and it seems we're now looking at a darker version of Jey. Has he awoken his inner Akuma? Yeah, you like that? Akuma means devil or demon. See, fun and education. You do not get that anywhere else. But it does seem that Jey's starting to...
Just turn and touch.
And he keeps mentioning the title. He wants his title back. Even though he's not had it for a long while now, he's still on about that, which is good.
And obviously he made the little comment of that will make them acknowledge us.
Yeah.
It's like,
So Jimmy's like, well, what are you doing? And Jey's like, yeah. So he's turning.
I don't mind that though.
No, I do. That's good.
Yeah.
And if you like these little quips and jokes and up-to-date things, subscribe.
Or let us know what you think in those comments down below.
Once again, thank you very much for watching.
And we'll see you Wednesday for a look at this past week in WWE, and Saturday when we take a look at SmackDown.